Make some noise in Serena Sport! Give it up.
Hello, hello, how are we all doing? So a bit about myself, I was a bit of a nerd when I was younger, a big old fan of numbers, and the first time I learnt about algebra at school, I loved it so much that when I went home I asked my mum to come up with kind of word problems for me to solve. So like if I've got 5 apples and my brother's got 4 bananas, how many pieces of fruit do we have in total? Or if I was born in 2000 and my oldest brother just turned 31 and my other brother's 7 years older than me, how old was I when I realised that was an accident? A little bit of maths-based humour for you there. No, but it was weird growing up with brothers that were quite a bit older than me in many ways. I feel like an only child, you know, I'm quite independent. My mum's not dead, but I'm quite independent. It's a callback, no one all right. And it makes dating quite hard. Like, I broke up with my first boyfriend because we weren't seeing eye to eye. Because, you know, I'm 5'2", on an incline, and he was a massive cunt. But no, I'm not saying that I hate men, although I am strongly implying it. But if I had a penny for every time I've been sent an unsolicited picture of a dick, I'd have 20p, which, not a lot of pennies, but it's a lot of pictures of dicks if you think about it, right? And I mean, I'm not saying that I'm against dick pics, like I'm a fan of Picasso. I've taught myself to like things that are objectively unattractive, but being sent a dick pic out of the blue is a bit like when your mum like tells you to do the washing up, you know? Like, I was going to do it anyway, but now that you kind of forced it upon me, somewhat less inclined. Did you know that being sent a dick pic's actually a crime? Oh, that's the face of the man that's just learned he's going to prison. Sorry, Raymond, but you were giving us those vibes. But no, catcalling, that's another thing that's a crime. I don't know why this is turning into kind of PSA for the men in Reddit, but yeah, any of the women in here have been catcalled? Yeah? Any of the men in here ever catcalled someone? Well, I'm the maths wizard in the room and I'm saying something doesn't add up, but I've never really understood why guys think that just like shouting random words at a woman is going to make them want to come over to you. Like, it's not a game of Marco fucking Polo, like, it's not how it works. And the state of the things people come out with, like, just today, I went on a run, brag, and this man shouted at me, "You got big tits," which you can't fault his eyesight, but it's a bit of a weird thing to say to someone, isn't it? At that point, it's less of a catcall and just more like an audio descriptive prompt. But I mean, he's champion accessibility. A good deed's a good deed at the end of the day. And I think the weirdest catcall I've ever got, 7th of February 2021, I remember it well. Because I was walking down the street, these kind of baggy tracksuits and a big oversized jumper, and this man on the opposite side of the road looked me up and down and without a second of hesitation just went, "Slag." This stuck out to me for a couple of reasons. First of all, why slag? I literally had about as much sex appeal as an incel at an NFT conference, you know. The outfit wasn't screaming, "Fuck me." But second of all, it was absolutely bang on. I am a bit of a slag, and despite all evidence to the contrary, just hit the nail straight on the head like the kind of Sherlock Holmes of the catcalling world. But here's the thing, I don't think there's anything wrong with being a slag. I mean, taking a quick look at the audience, I feel like I'm kind of preaching to the choir here, but because I think feminism's taken us very far, and I don't think Emily Davison threw herself under a horse just so that I'd hold out to the third date, you know. And I think there's such a double standard when it comes to sex, right? Because, like, when Greta Thunberg does something for the planet, she's called a hero. But whenever I try and do a bit of conservation work, I'm called irresponsible and told that I should use protection even if they're ginger. Like, it's a recessive gene. Someone's got to fuck them. And the way I see it, they're not getting enough chances to score as is. The poor sods, the least you could do is remove the goalie when they finally make it there. But it's hard, right? Because I feel like there's such a like negative attitude around sex. Like my mum, right? Her version of the birds and bees. She sat me down at 17, which is a bit like trying to take out house insurance in a home that was burgled 2 years earlier. You know, the damage had been done, but you got to respect the grind. And she sat me down and she said, "Imagine you're at a party and you've got a glass of water, right? And every time a boy asks to take a sip out of your glass of water, it gets a little dirtier and it gets a little emptier. And if you let every boy that's thirsty take a sip out of your glass of water, At the end of the night, all that's left is a dirty, empty glass of water, and nobody wants to drink. You're nodding away. You fucking know my mum, don't you? Nobody wants to drink from an empty, dirty glass of water. Then she turned to me because she thought I was old enough to have sex, but not old enough to know what a fucking metaphor was. She said, "You are that glass of water, but here's the thing,